Hello everyone, Scanter here with Let's Make a Game Astral Collision. And today there's a couple of things that I want to go over. The first, they're all connected to the Adventurers Guild. So let's just go ahead and start actually with some code stuff. Now I was mentioning these things last time. So I wanted to add a meta tag for setting the caps of item stacks individually. So I could say this item has a stack cap of, 99, which is the default. Or this one has a stack cap of 999. I like the idea of being able to set those individually. There's some use to them. For example, in like Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, some of those Souls games, you can see that they use different stack caps for different things. So, for example, upgrade materials can have a really high stack cap because it doesn't matter how many of those you carry on you. They're only really useful in specific situations anyway. Versus giving something like healing items, say blood vials in Bloodborne, a very tight stack cap, a very limited one, limits how much healing you can have. So I like the idea of having the number of items that I have for certain categories limited more than others. And one of the other things I wanted to do with this is I was trying to think through, okay, how do I handle the bounty system? Because if you remember last time, I was talking about wanting to introduce like bounty rewards and some sort of bounty system for giving the player points of some variety to level up in the Adventurers Guild to rank up, to be able to get access to new vendors and for equipment and things like that. So I looked at the way that this works, and if I just scroll all the way to the bottom here, you can see right here, this is how we get the maximum items. This is just a party function. The game party has a maximum number of each type of item it can carry. The default is 99. I've bumped it up to 250. That seems like a reasonable number that I'm going to work with, but it's not really feasible without a lot of additional programming work anyway to make this on a per item basis. Part of the reason why I don't want to do this is, A, I don't really have a tool for JavaScript like I do Visual Studio for working in C# or C++ or whatever that lets me find all of the references to something, so I have to Control F, and that's not necessarily reliable for finding everything. So I could have dependency issues. I might be able to do stuff like that through the Chrome debug menu that you can bring up with F12 when you start the game. But anyway, as I'm saying, the getting all of the times that this is referenced and then adjusting it to be on a per item basis is just a huge amount of additional work. So that's not really that feasible in terms of something that I want to do with the current structure of what I'm doing. It's just a lot of additional work. I also have thought through a bit more how I'm going to handle things anyway. The other thing that I wanted to do, which you can kind of see at the bottom there, I'll go over it in a second, is up here is I wanted to add a bounty tag for enemies so that I can have them drop X of a bounty item. So in-game, practically speaking, if I go to an enemy, it looks like this. Bounty 1. Well, what does bounty 1 mean? That means that when you kill this enemy, it guaranteed drops that many of the specified bounty item. So this is the standard function right here for the most part. I've added bounty.concat to concatenate this. I'm concatenating two arrays together. And I know that this works because I've tested it out in-game. But what this does is I first make an array for bounties. And then if the enemy has the bounty tag, I count, or I turn it into a number because it's a string by default and it needs to be a number if I'm going to iterate to it. I think this may not be entirely necessary because JavaScript does a lot of hand-wavy stuff for types, but I like to do this anyway to be explicit about it. That's one of the things I don't like about JavaScript. I prefer to work with typed languages like C# and C++. They're kind of what I grew up working with when I was a teenager. I first got into BASIC, but the interpreter was on a CD that I returned to a friend, so I was like, oh, I enjoyed programming, I want to keep doing it, and I started learning C++. So I lucked into learning C++ as a teenager, but my history is working with typed languages with strong typing, and so I prefer that. And so JavaScript's wishy-washiness about what types are something that makes me vaguely uncomfortable because it means that I'm uncertain about what I'm working with. But anyway, this music looks like it's getting a little loud. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. What it does is it just goes through and populates this array with instances of the bounty item. I'm just hard coding it because this is not for general use, and so it's easier to just hard code it instead of giving variable things. But it's this item right here, the bounty slip, and it just gives you however many it is that you're supposed to have. That's what this does. So I was able to get that working, and so you'll always see that at the first thing that you get from drops is you'll get bounties. I don't think all enemies will have bounties, but a number of enemies will. It's a general thing that I want to make sure that I'm doing. So I've added that, and that's an important programmatic thing that I've added. And I've added the Adventurers Guild card, which is a registration with the Adventurers Guild, and you can use it to check your rank and points to the next rank here. Bounty slips, of course, I added. You turn them in at the Adventurers Guild to get access to new services. I've not done anything more with weapons or armor, any of that sort of stuff. I've had a busy week, so I'm happy to have gotten to what have been able to get to. But there are 5 ranks. Now you start off at, there's 6 ranks. You start off at rank 0, but there's effectively 5 ranks. So every rank requires 5 times as many points to get to as the previous one. So there's rank 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 is max. Fun fact, with variables that you might not know. So right here you can see you are currently adventurer rank whatever. This grabs whatever stored in that variable. But this is JavaScript. Variables hold whatever type it is that you say that they hold. Again, I don't like that, but that is what I'm working with, so I'm going to take advantage of it. And one of the things that you can do with that is you can set it with script to a string. So I've just straight up set it to be the word max. So what this is used for is right here. You have some number out of some other number of points towards the next rank, and this tells you how many points you need. So when you use this, it's going to be something kind of like this. You're currently adventurer rank whatever. You have however many out of however many points you need towards the next rank. Rank 5 is the maximum rank. So that's what that item does. And then I've begun working on the Adventurers Guild. So if we go back to the middle, that is not the middle. This is the middle. You'll see over here I filled this in with trees. I was just trying to figure out something to kind of fill stuff in with. Man, that music still looks like it's really loud. I know this is just about over, though. You can see that I've put in a bunch of stuff here. We'll go over that in a second. Okay, let's turn music back up a little bit for the start of this one. I'll keep an eye on it. So, boy, that also looks really loud. Okay, where was I? Yes, the right also has a bunch of stuff here. So this is the top of the Adventurers Guild. We'll look at the front of it in a second. You'll notice right here I have this. This is a transfer point. If you walk up against it, if you push against it, it will teleport you inside or transfer you inside the Adventurers Guild Floor 1 map. Right here is an NPC. This NPC's entire purpose is to let you know that there is a door next to her. Because this is one of the problems with this perspective. This perspective is really great for front-facing stuff. It is absolutely atrocious for anything side or back-facing. You can kind of do side-facing, sorta, but it always looks a little wonky. And anything that is in the back, you don't have any indication of. There is a door here, but I have no good way of telling the player there's a door here. So I just put an NPC here that literally signifies, A, it can be a visual marker. There's a door right next to this NPC. And B, the NPC explicitly tells you that there's a door next to them so that you can know. It's crude and kind of hacky in a certain sort of way, but it's just how it needs to work in order to make this go. And there's other things too, like this technically is actually much taller, so it should overhang here, but I can't really represent that. There's a lot of things with this art style where it looks good to a certain extent, but has a lot of limitations in terms of what it visually represents and how accurately it visually represents stuff that I find really frustrating. Especially the way that like vertical spaces can be really confined with needing to represent walls in areas that like take up more space than the wall logically takes up in the floor plan and all sorts of stuff like that. But that's neither here nor there. So yes, then this one also has here's a path, what's going to be a path over. I'm just looking at it now and realizing I haven't added those transfer points, so I need to do that. But you can see I filled this in with trees because I just don't want to deal with it. And I think that's fine. So over here, again, I need to fill this in with transfer points because I haven't done that yet. This is the front of the Adventurers Guild. This is a door that will take you in. Right now, the only way into here is through the top or the back or front or however you want to view it. This is kind of the front. The other side's kind of the front. This is more like the presentation front because of the art style of the game. Whereas the other side is more of the main entrance area. I've planned out, you can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows of windows here. I was doing that to do some planning, so I've just done that over here in this quick snip. I apologize for the illegibility of the A, my handwriting, and B, the red text. It's just kind of what color it defaulted to, so here's what we went with. But anyway, the first 2 floors are a lobby. There's actually 6 or 7 floors overall involved. 7 floors involved, but one of them is a basement, so you can't see it in this view. This floor is going to be services. These here, both of these 2 floors are going to be dormitories for adventuring groups, places where adventurers can rest and stuff like that. The top one's probably going to be like assigned dormitories, and the bottom one's kind of probably be like an open-in floor now that I think about it some. Then there's going to be a library above that. I don't know if that is the best order, but that's what I'm going to roll with. And then the guild leader is, of course, at the top, and will house slightly taller space as well. So this is still very much so a work in progress. Let's just go ahead and go. Here's the bottom. The idea here with the bottom is this is an arena. You'll be able to talk to this NPC here once I implement it to be able to fight some variety of enemies. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. It's probably going to be limited based upon your rank. So higher rank allows you to fight higher level enemies is my guess. And of course we see there's a bunch of arena seating and all that sort of stuff. This space is going to need to be filled in with a lot more NPCs milling about and things that you can talk to. And I'm probably going to want to spice some of this up a little bit, but we'll see this in game shortly. I'm just kind of going over everything. This is the first floor. This is a lobby. This is sort of that main entrance. There's a pool with this statue of Sir Lionel. Is that his name? No, I'm doubting myself. I can check easily here. Yeah, Sir Lionel. So I've decided on a convention. These NPCs, or NPCs with this appearance, are all about doing things that involve rank, and involve the adventurer rank. This NPC style is all about information. So you have to become a member of the Adventurer Guild. You can talk to this NPC here. They'll give you the Adventurers Guild card to become an Adventurers Guild. That allows you to turn in bounty slips for defeating enemies. You can see the dialogue going on here. Once you've got them, I do want to eventually add some something here about rank stuff or something. Just information about how the rank works. But this is the Adventurers Guild discussion area in terms of like getting that. And then this person will give you directions. These are not filled in yet. Some of them have, like there's information about the arena down below and all that sort of stuff. Also, I've apparently just fallen on the farewell being good hunting, because that is an important part of what they do. Grand Tour is going to be about all the different locations, stuff like that. It's not actually going to take you around. It's an informational thing. This NPC is going to give you information about different bounties. These sides are going to be duplicated. They're just going to be mirror images of each other. They're going to be identical. This is the NPC that you turn bounty slips into, as in you hand them into this NPC. If you do not have an adventurer's card, then they begin the dialogue and say, oh, you don't have an adventurer's membership card. You can't turn in slips without one. But you look like you could become adventurous, to go speak to the attendant on the left to become a member of the guild, which is this person right here. That's the simple part. This is the complex part. So, first of all, you can only talk to this person if you have the Adventurers Guild item. This music is quiet enough that I feel comfortable turning it up a little bit. a little bit anyway. So it starts by storing the number of bounty slips that you have, and it tells you how many you have and asks how many you want to turn in. It accepts a number. Remember, you can have up to 250 of these, so we store up to a 3-digit number. If you input a number that is greater than the number of slips you have, then the NPC says, oh, I'll just take all of them, and it sets the number that you want to turn in to the number that you have, which is useful. If you say that you don't want to turn in any, then they acknowledge that, and it ends processing. You don't do anything more, and uses this sort of standard sign-off that this NPC will use of reminding you that more bounty slips, that turning in bounty slips, I need to reword this because it's a little awkward, but remember that your bounty slips get exchanged for more gold the higher your adventure rank. Yeah, so this one's pretty straightforward. There's another dialogue in here that's a little awkward. So far, pretty straightforward. If you turn in slips, so this is not turning in slips. So if you turn in slips, it gives you adventure guild points equal to the number of slips that you turned in and removes those slips from your inventory. And then we get to this crazy bit here. So if your Adventurer's Guild rank is less than or equal to 4, then you can still level up. So we'll cover that in just a second. If you are right here, if you're level 5, it says, thank you for your service, O glorious rank 5 adventurer, because I don't have to do any of the rank level up processing because you can't level up. Then we do some more stuff. So I'll get to the leveling up code in just a moment, but just continuing on this flow of logic. If you are rank 5 or greater, right here, this code block, because this is so much more efficient to do in script than it is to try to do in this stuff. So what we do is if your rank is greater than or equal to 5, your max rank, I like to do greater than or equal to just to be safe, because it doesn't matter if you're greater than 5. It's just this is the behavior, and I don't want something to break if you are equal to 6 for some random reason, like some weird bug happened and you're equal to 6. This is just kind of corner case proofing if something truly bizarre happens. But what this does is this is calculating how much gold you get. So we've given you your points at this point. Haha, points. We've given you your points and taken your bounty slips. So now we need to figure out how much gold you get. And so the formula is a little bit different. If you're max level, then you get the amount of gold that you're going to get. So it's storing this in temp, which we add to your gold right here. So it says, here's your gold. You receive that much gold, and it adds your gold. And then the NPC says goodbye. If you are less than rank 5, it tells you about your gold. The amount of gold you get per bounty slip is higher when you have more adventurer rank. There's some dialogue in one of these that's awkward. I'll worry about it later. I think it's actually on the NPC below. But that if you are rank 5, then it has this, thank you again, O glorious rank 5 adventurer. Please come back anytime. Remember, they worship high ranking adventurers, and so I'm kind of reflecting that if you manage to get to max, which will require a lot of bounty slips. It'll require an astronomical number, because it just does. It's like 6,250 to get from rank 4 to rank 5. But if you do get to rank 5, and there'll be a bit of a caveat here. One of the things, I'll just mention it now, that I want to do is if Sir Lionel is in your party, they recognize Sir Lionel as Sir Lionel and are like, oh wow, you're Sir Lionel, and you just shortcut everything. You're just automatically treated as like max level adventurer. You do not have to rank it up. So it shortcuts the system. Now, I'm not implementing any of that code yet because I want to be able to test the system with all of the characters in my party, and the way that I'm going to do it is this character is Sir Lionel in your party. So I want to be able to test things with all of the characters in my party. You're normally only allowed 4, but it just makes it more efficient if I test with all. So I'm going to add that later in a later step is my plan, because right now it would be very inconvenient and I want to be able to test this base functionality. But okay, back to what's going on. If you are rank 5, then you will get however many slips you turn in times the floor of 15 plus your rank points divided by 1,000. So the way that what I'm doing here basically is at base, when you're rank rank 5, maximum rank adventurer, you'll get 15 gold per bounty slip that you turn in. For every 1,000 points that you have accumulated at rank 5, which remember is the maximum, for every 1,000, you will get an additional gold when you turn in bounty slips. So this is a way of giving points value even after you reach maximum rank, because I like things that don't necessarily 100% cap out, but it accumulates slowly. And it's not necessarily a ton, but if you're getting enough bounty slips to kind of really level this up anyway, you are getting a lot of additional gold through this system. So this is something where you're going to want to come back here. You're going to want to turn in your bounty slips. It creates a sort of rhythm that way, but it's also something where maybe you don't care that much. If you are below rank 5, then you'll get 1 plus 2 times your current rank. So if you are rank 0, you get 1 gold per bounty slip, then it's 3 gold, 5 gold, 7 gold, 9 gold, and then maybe 11. I forget exactly where it kind of caps out, but you get more gold the more you have. And then, yeah, it just hands you your gold. So that's this whole system right here. These NPCs are going to be... Actually, let's just go ahead and do this now. Are going to be duplicated on either side. I'll duplicate this one once I get everything working with this NPC. Okay, so we have a bunch of stairs. So then we have floor 2. This is going to be services. Up here, these NPCs do not have any of their stuff yet, but these are where you're going to be able to talk to them. So if you're a guild member, you can use this one. This NPC to be able to acquire resources. If you're rank 1, you can use this one, rank 2, rank 3, rank 4, and rank 5, and then information. So these are going to be places like, one of these is going to carry the fiery dragon sword, for example. So these were where you're going to be able to purchase this. These guys don't have anything yet. They just have... this NPC version will say, oh, you don't meet the requirements to purchase things from me. And then this version will be like, okay, you meet the requirements, you can purchase things from me. That's what's going on there. And I've kind of fleshed some of that stuff out. And then I've made this floor. This is going to be the first dormitory floor. Once I've made the first dormitory floor, I'm going to make it... I'm going to be making another one. Like I said, I think on reflection, this one will probably be kind of more of a hostel. Just kind of open, whoever kind of wants a room. And then the next one's going to be, oh, these are rooms for, these higher ranking guilds. So you'll, teams, I should say, higher ranking teams. So you'll probably get one when you get high enough rank or something. I don't know. And then there'll be a library and the other thing. So that's a lot of what I've been implementing in terms of stuff. I would have liked to have gotten more stuff done, but I've had a very busy week otherwise. So this is kind of where things are. But we have only looked at this stuff. Yeah, I don't think there's anything to talk about with any of those things. So let us go ahead and open this up. And I'll turn off that the background music because this is about to be all musicy. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and continue. Now, I've already gone out, and I have 12 bounty slips. What I do not have is the membership card. So if I talk to either of these NPCs, they'll be like, hi, you can turn in, oh, I see you don't have a membership card. You cannot turn things in. I can go upstairs if I want to. None of these NPCs will do anything because they don't have any stuff they can do yet. But I can go up to this dormitory level and then back down. And here's our lobby. It's nighttime right now, so everything's a little bit different in its colors. This NPC talks at us. Where can I find crafting services? Obviously, I haven't done that one yet. Where's the arena? The arena can be found on the floor below us. You can take either down staircase to reach it. The arena is a great place to practice battling, so go check it out. That'll be all, thanks. You're welcome. Let me know if you have any questions. Good hunting. And then, welcome to the Adventures Guild. I don't recall seeing you here before. Yada, yada, yada. You start at rank 0, you get the membership card telling you about turning in bounty slips. So now we have our Adventures Guild card. And we are currently Adventure rank 0. We have 0 of 10 points towards the next rank. Rank 5 is the maximum rank. Down here is the arena. Every few seconds, a random effect is going to play on that slime. I kind of want to add a little bit more pizzazz here. I haven't really tested this yet, though. So you can see the stuff is happening. the idea is that that team is fighting a slime. I wanted to give something going on here. Like I said, I will probably adjust some of this later to try to figure out some way that I can add a little bit more something to it, a little bit more animation. Maybe even just setting the characters to be stepping instead of static. But that's that. So now I can go up to one of these NPCs and turn in my bounty slips. So I'm just going to turn in all 12. I now have 2 points towards the next adventurer rank. Here's my gold. I receive 36 gold. Remember, you earn more gold per bounty slip the higher your rank is. Yeah, so if you try to turn in more, and maybe I should swap some of the order around a little bit or something, I don't know. But they gave me stuff, so now if I go to, I don't have any more bounty slips, and the adventures card says, oh, I'm rank 1 and I have 2 out of 50 points towards the next rank. So that's kind of how all that stuff works. So yeah, now I can go get more stuff and other things. And I'll be continuing to test the systems, but you can see them working. I'll go ahead and save this. So yeah, that is what's been going on so far. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, everyone, take care and goodbye.